Step into the chilling realm of the unknown as we unveil 10 spine-tingling ghost sightings captured on tape, offering a haunting glimpse into the mysterious and paranormal. So let's dive in. Number 10. Ghost Jail. While exploring an old county jail for a parody video, YouTuber Jumped Up Kitten and friends stumble upon genuine evidence of ghosts. Reviewing the footage, they spot a colorless man's face staring from a jail cell window, complete with a distinct outline of brow, nose, and empty eyes. The ghost's head is tilted, appearing to assess the newcomers, its mouth a thin, expressionless line. Remarkably, as Jumped Up Kitten seeks proof of ghosts, the timely appearance of this spectral figure suggests a deliberate attempt to communicate or seek help from the living world. Number 9. Restaurant Spooks. When people think of ghost sightings, they typically picture homes, hospitals, or prisons. But sometimes, the least likely locations end up being the most haunted. This video was recorded in a well-known restaurant during the day. A spooky ghost appears out of nowhere in a Subway restaurant. It initially takes on the form of a human and appears to be approaching a table. The dark shadow suddenly transforms into a hovering black blob of an orb as it approaches its seat. At this time, it looks like a staff member or perhaps a customer has spotted the spirit in the doorway. Regardless of who they are, they briefly appear surprised before immediately reversing course. The shadow orb floats up to the window and stays there, paying no attention to the person. It almost appears as though it is gazing outdoors. The ghost rises further higher before beginning to fade away and returning to its original location. Number 8. Ghoul School. A group of teenagers in the Middle East are exploring an old school. They become wary when they hear a dog whining behind a door and fear a potential dog attack. Despite their fear, they decide to continue exploring the lower levels of the building. As they venture deeper, their courage grows, and they joke and laugh together. They discover graffiti left by previous visitors, making them feel more at ease. However, their mood shifts as they enter a certain section of the building. They become quieter and more nervous. One of the teens mentions their phone, unexpectedly shutting off despite being fully charged moments earlier. A YouTuber named Zaven Jaguar translates their comments. The group enters an empty classroom and senses a strange presence. Suddenly, a headless ghost materializes and approaches them. Chanting is heard, possibly from a nearby mosque. Remarkably, the teens seem to miss seeing the ghost and continue exploring. They eventually notice the apparition later, realizing the unsettling figure that had been heading toward them in the room. Number 7. Fridge Ghost. Nog Host Hunter, a YouTuber, is living in a haunted home and decides to capture evidence of disturbances on video. Late at night, he hears scratching, running footsteps, and loud bangs coming from different areas of the house simultaneously. The next day, his HETV violently rocks from side to side on its own, almost breaking. It then starts rocking the other way without any apparent explanation. Another day, he discovers a video on his phone that he didn't record. The reflection in the oven confirms this. More footage shows the TV shaking by itself again. Nog Host Hunter films behind the TV to debunk any pranks, demonstrating that there are no wires or hidden mechanisms. The lights also flicker while he records. A few days later, he captures footage of the refrigerator door repeatedly slamming open and closed, clearly showcasing the presence of a bold poltergeist. The door is left open, emphasizing the entity's presence. Number 6. Watch from Above. A group of British friends playing catch in a courtyard notice a pale face peering from a high window. The unsettling figure vanishes, leaving them spooked. They inform the property manager, who denies anyone could be there. She accompanies them to the locked room, which they find empty. The puzzling encounter remains unsolved, leaving the friends unnerved by the unexplainable sighting. Number 5. Old Pete's Ghost. The Carlisle Castle Hotel in Sydney harbors the spirit of Old Pete, a former embittered employee whose ghostly activities have been captured on camera 3 times. From deliberately toppling high-end red wine bottles to dislodging a specific glass under a server's watchful eye, Old Pete's presence is undeniable. In an empty bar, his apparition materializes, head visible, seemingly waving. Reports of taps turning on by themselves and eerie occurrences during cash counting only add to the haunted reputation. The consistent focus on red wine suggests Old Pete's preferences in life. His spectral antics make the pub a magnet for ghost enthusiasts and intrigue visitors alike. Number 4. The Church Disturbance. Steve and Jake explore a haunted chapel in the woods, feeling uneasy. They enter through the back and find a piano playing on its own. They hide in a closet, debate leaving.
This could be priceless.
Then see a phantom playing the piano. Terrified, they run out and the music stops as they exit. They think they're safe, but the ghost chases them. The video cuts off as they flee into the woods. One survives, uploads the video on YouTube, where it's been for a decade. Number 3. The teleporter. Two young girls find themselves alone in their house. One of them notices a strange sight in the doorway upon reviewing a paused video clip. The upper half of a young girl in old-fashioned attire, seemingly floating and curiously observing them. One of the girls remains oblivious to the ghostly presence and accidentally startles it while shouting at the television. The other girl captures the ghost retreat on camera as it teleports and then appears atop the staircase, gazing at them. Feeling frightened, the girls flee the house, screaming. Briefly pausing on the street, they catch a glimpse of the ghostly girl moving from the left window on the top floor, disappearing momentarily, only to reappear on the ground floor in an instant. Their screams intensify as they hastily make their escape once more. Number 2. Stay out of the attic. In 2008, a man began experiencing odd occurrences in his house, including his dogs acting scared and unusual banging noises. Investigating, he found his attic in disarray, but when he entered, objects moved on their own, and he fled. Paranoid, he started recording everything, capturing paranormal evidence like a spirit orb and a doorknob jiggling on its own. Objects flew around, radios acted erratically, and his dogs seemed to track an unseen presence. Despite his efforts, he couldn't physically capture the entity on film, only its bizarre and sometimes aggressive behaviors. Number 1. The Ghost Stadium. This Brazilian soccer video demonstrates that ghosts don't need to wait until midnight to start haunting. A shadow ghost suddenly begins running across the entire audience, which is joyfully supporting their beloved team. If you look closely, you'll see that nobody makes an effort to move out of the way. No one even bothers to look up or try to bring their legs in when someone is clearly sprinting full speed toward them. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe to our channel for more engaging videos like this.